but for you, Ryan, do you look at these, is your goal to at some point be on a museum or in a great exhibition, this from the traditional, more from the traditional art world, or you're somebody that you care more about the digital space and the digital culture?
It's probably, I would imagine, for artists coming from the two respective worlds, what's exciting is crossing over. So for me, coming from digital, traditional looks exciting, and I'm sure for traditional people, maybe digital looks exciting. But it is cool more and more as that kind of merges, where you see huge, projectors in a traditional space, and it's, playing kind of this digital work
Mhm.
outside of it, or what you can do with plotters, where you, like Mapin's, a wizard at that, where you and Zancan, where you have kind of
Yeah.
these pure digital worlds that kind of escape into the physical, and then we can kind of celebrate them on kind of a big traditional canvas. For
Yeah.
me, that's super exciting, and I would love to kind of explore that,
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
where I kind of
And
feel like I kind of get
physical.
the digital by default.
Yeah, it's like a new exploration for you, right? It's like, okay, this is something new. Producing physical work, digital. I mean, it's like a combination of both, but it's different. Yeah. And what are your thoughts
Yeah.
on prints? On prints against plotters?
Um, Fine with both. Plotters are so cool though. Like
Yeah.
plotter really does feel like a hand drawn, hand painted. Everyone is going to be slightly different, just because like the machines aren't they're not perfect.
Yeah.
So often like you're running out of ink midway through the plot, or it did this weird pooling on this one part that it was trying to sketch, where you do kind of get those imperfections where every edition 105 will look different than another edition 105, which is kind of cool. So I love that idea and that aesthetic of kind of those imperfections, making it just feel a little more organic.
Yeah. Yeah, and also it's a great way to show digital art in a way, right? Because then you can explain, yeah, well, there was code behind this piece, and then that usually attracts people to computer art in a way, but it's physical.
Yeah,
You can hang it on a wall, and you can show it to your friends. So it's a good way to bridge both worlds.
yeah,
Um,
and really good, like really top tier plotter art is really hard to make. Where it does have that kind of selection of like, okay, first you have to be, you have to be a great artist. You also have to be a great coder, and then you have to solve all the problems of kind of combining those and working with a plotter, where
yeah.
it's just a handful of people that have really like pulled it off at like museum quality. And I think that's going to be a barrier for a long time, for collectors looking for things that obviously took a lot of care to produce. I feel
Mhm.
like generative plotter art is one of like the hardest aesthetic, computer science art forms you can kind of put out there.
Yeah, and especially like big plotters, right? Because you need the special machines. I saw
It takes
Sankan.
time.
Yeah, I saw Sankan exhibition in New York City. It was amazing. They had this. I think it was, what was the name? It was Art Matter. I think it was Art Matter. They had these huge machines. It was very impressive, and during the exhibition, it was working, right? So it was working.
Yeah,
It was kind of on default mode, doing a plot, and yeah, it was fantastic. But
yeah.
yeah, you're right. There is like a small barrier there to create this kind of art, which makes it interesting, right, for those that actually make it and are capable of conquering that.